All right, so what's going on, everyone? Let's talk about this OVO collaboration with WWE and creating this capsule fashion work. Because on the surface, it looks clean, it looks expensive, it looks like it knows exactly who it's targeting. But once you scratch past the nostalgia filter, something feels off because the collaboration is being marketed as a celebration of Canadian wrestling heritage, and yet somehow it skips over some of the most important Canadian figures the industry has ever produced. And that contradiction is the real story here. So let's start with the rundown. October's very own Drake's fashion label has officially partnered with WWE for a limited run capsule collection which launched December 19th, 2025 at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, both online on the WWE shop and in the OVO website as well as its flagship stores. The collection pulls heavily from early 90s WWE, the Attitude Era, and the idea of wrestling Canadian legacy. This collection features names including Bret Hart, The Undertaker, The Iron Sheik, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and of course, The Rock. OVO frames this as honoring the lineage that shaped wrestling, especially through Canadians' lens. But to me, in my humble opinion, that's where the problem starts. Let's be clear. Canadian wrestling history isn't just about Bret Hart. It's not just training in Calgary at the Hart Foundation dungeon. It's generation of performers who shaped WWE style, carry entire eras, and define what sports entertainment even became. So when LVO says this line is about Canadian wrestling heritage, the omission mattered, because if you're going to wave that flag, you don't get to cherry pick based on the merch appeal alone. So let's start with what I think is some of the loudest absence that they could have monetized with this collection when they talk about Canadian heritage. Number one is Roddy Piper. Now people are going to say, well, Roddy Piper bills himself as a Scottish person. Yes, he has Scottish heritage, but he was born in Canada. And I can't pronounce the town, but I'm going to try my best. It's Saskatchewan, Canada. And the fact that they omitted one of the greatest talkers in wrestling history, the villain of the very first WrestleMania main event in Madison Square Garden, is befounding. It's crazy. No Piper, but Iron Sheik makes it. Now, I get it. Sheik was trained in Calgary. He was trained under the Hart dungeon, but he wasn't Canadian born. But Piper was. But Piper is omitted. That matters when you're trying to sell your brand at selling roots. And he, although he's a golden era wrestler, he did have some involvement still in the early 90s. So you can't tell me, well, he's not part of the early 90s. Yes, he is. He was. And then he retired. Biggest omission, since you guys are talking about Attitude Era, where's Trish Stratus? Trish Stratus is Toronto, Ontario. She's from OVO's hometown. She's a 7-time champ. She's a Hall of Famer. She's the cornerstone of both the Attitude Era and the Ruthless Aggression area when it comes to the women's division. OVO, like I said, is a Toronto-based brand, yet somehow Trish is nowhere to be found in this collection. That's not a small oversight. It's a glaring one. People would definitely buy Trish merch. Now, there are some that people may not know, but I want to educate those. Is Rocky Johnson. Wait, what? Rocky Johnson? The Rock's father? Rocky the Soul Man Johnson? Yes, believe it or not, Rocky Johnson is Canadian, which makes The Rock part Canadian. Rocky Johnson was born in Nova Scotia. He's a former WWF Tag Team Champion, and obviously he's father of the great one, The Rock, who is featured in this collection, but his father is not. You're including The Rock for star power, I get it, in order to sell your stuff. But the fact that you couldn't include his father and skipping the Canadian roots, that's optics over authenticity, man. You're really missing out. Now, these are the old school that fits within their lens that they're trying to promote with it when it comes to early 90s, Attitude Era, and so forth. But then, if they tweaked a little this idea that they were trying to sell, they could have gone for more star power for Canadians that even are popular today. They had, you could have insert some modern Canadian stars that were left out. You have Kevin Owens. You have Sami Zayn, who always, when he's in Canada, he's promoting the living crap out of Canada. He's always representing Canada. You have, of course, a shocking one, Natalya. Everyone loves her when she shows up. There's also another legend from the early Ruthless Aggression area who's more WCW but still can work is Lance Storm. And let's not forget the lovable one right now for some, Chelsea Green. She's Canadian. These are very popular names that I can see, obviously, minus Lance Storm, these other four people are going to be part of history in the WWE. These are performers who, in some shape or form, main evented some shows, represented Canadian wrestling globally, and represented their country proud, and are still active, they're still visible, and connected with today's audience, which can give you potential more income. But their goal was heritage. But I feel like the modern day era could have come too. Now, let's talk about what this collection really is. And we're going to be a little honest, and no disrespect to them, but I feel like they could have done a little more. This isn't really a wrestling history project for them. To them, this is a fashion capsule, a nostalgia play on wrestling fans, because at this point in time, whether it's a wrestling fandom, a comic fandom, Power Ranger fandom, whatever fandom you can think of, everyone is playing nostalgia plays on fans. And OVO is obviously going to cash in on that. They wanted to do a brand crossover aimed at casual fandom and celebrity culture. This gear is not meant for people that are wrestling purists, in my opinion. And if you are going to buy it, well, you're going to spend a lot of money, just like you're spending on tickets. This is meant for celebrity cultures, those celebrities that show up at ringside, at Raws, at SmackDowns, at PLEs, and casual fans that see these celebrities or see these people wear this gear, and they say, oh, if I wear this, I'm cool too, right? It's designed to look good courtside, show up on camera, be worn by celebrities for WWE events. And from a business standpoint, yeah, it makes sense. But don't insult wrestling fans by calling it a deep tribute to Canadian wrestling heritage when it clearly prioritized global icons over national roots. And let's talk economics for a second. That's a random fan. Wait, sorry. Let's talk economics for a second. This is a limited release, and the pricing is premium. We're talking $198 for an NWO full zip hoodie with the label OVO over it, and $228 US for a Stone Cold 316 hoodie that doesn't even say Stone Cold 360 or what 360 or whatever 360. It says OVO 360. For that, you're going to pay $228. It's OVO branding slapped on familiar imagery, and that's supply and demand 101. It doesn't make it a historic historically valuable. It doesn't make it culturally complete. It makes it exclusive, which is fine. Just don't pretend it's something deeper than it is. At the end of the day, it's fabric, ink, and nostalgia, not a museum exhibit. This collection will sell. Don't get me wrong. It already is. It's already sold out in some places. Celebrities will wear it. Social media influencers will hype it. WWE cameras will find them and point at it at every show going forward. But if you're a wrestling fan, especially a Canadian one, it's okay to call out the gaps because honoring heritage means more than choosing the safest names to sell a brand. It means telling the full story of Canadian wrestling. And this one only tells parts of it. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments, and I will see you on the next one.